of this program is disgraceful, with a bunch of people who want to hurt the United States of America. And for people to leak that program and for a newspaper to publish it does great harm to the United States of America.
So a decision was made by the Bush White House to release this information, and Tom Ridge came out on Sunday, August 1st, and announced that there was such a plot and there would be extra security for those institutions. And in the course of the off-the-record briefing that the Homeland Security did for the press, a Bush administration official mentioned that the information had come from Mohammed Naeem Noor Khan. Now, he was still a double agent and was undercover and was sending email messages, according to Pakistani sources, on Sunday and the following Monday to his al-Qaeda contacts in London, who still thought he was on the inside. So the next day, the New York Times printed the name as a principle that you don't tell the press things you don't want to see in the newspapers. And that, in turn, caused a big furor in Pakistan and the United Kingdom, where there were ongoing sting operations being run through Khan. And the British had to swoop in and arrest 13 of Khan's correspondents, lest they scatter once they heard he had been arrested. And in fact, they lost 5 of them. And many they're going to have to release for lack of evidence. So the cases hadn't been made. And Faisal Saleh Hayat, who is the Pakistani Interior Minister, is just furious, and he said that, Khan is the kind of asset that could eventually have led to bin Laden himself had he not been outed.
What we were doing was the right thing. Congress was aware of it, and we were within the law to do so. The American people expect this government to protect our constitutional liberties and at the same time make sure we understand what the terrorists are trying to do. The 9/11 Commission recommended that the government be robust in tracing money.
4 years after 9/11, it is a scandal that police and firefighters in large cities still can't talk to each other reliably.
The 9/11 Commission gave the President and Congress an F on that and bad grades in other key areas. There's still no unified terrorist watch list to screen airline passengers. Little progress in screening cargo and checked bags. Minimal improvement in information sharing within the government.
We're frustrated, we're passionate, and we're angry because the United States government is not doing what it needs to do to protect American citizens.
The commission charged that Congress continues to dole out Homeland Security funds for pork. Newark, New Jersey bought new air-conditioned garbage trucks. Washington, D.C. sent sanitation workers to self-help seminars.
Why aren't our tax dollars being spent to protect our lives? What's the rationale? What's the excuse? There is no excuse.
The government does get good marks in some areas, cutting off terrorist financing.
If you want to figure out what the terrorists are doing, you try to follow their money. And that's exactly what we're doing, and the fact that a newspaper disclosed it makes it harder to win this war on terror.
Now, 7 suspected terrorists are behind bars after FBI agents are tipped off about a possible terror attack on a national landmark.
These individuals wish to wage a quote, full ground war against the United States.
The Justice Department says the men had a laundry list of items that they were seeking from al-Qaeda, including weapons, cash, and even military boots.
Well, a lot of show has been made about the militaristic boots that they had and the gear and the outfits. It turns out these guys didn't have enough money or enough organization to get these things from themselves. The FBI bought them the boots that we've heard so much about, that we bought them the military outfits that we've heard so much about. If you look at the indictment, the biggest community that they have is that the group may have taken pictures of a bunch of targets in South Florida. Well, the guys couldn't afford their own cameras, so the federal government bought them the cameras with which they took the pictures. They couldn't get downtown and all the other places by themselves. The federal government rented them the cars that they needed to get downtown in order to take the pictures. So it looks like they really didn't have addition right now. The running joke in Liberty City is, in the indictments, you read the indictments, the men provided the FBI informant with a list of things they needed in order to blow up these buildings. But in the list, they didn't include any explosives or any materials which could be used to make explosives. So now everyone in Liberty City is joking that the guys were going to kick down the FBI building with their new boots. Because they didn't have any devices which could have been used to explode. So this really, really looks pretty thin. In addition, we have concern.